Hey, as Wiseman, welcome. Today's discussion is how energy motion is being controlled and shame. The question on shame. First, I want to get into some things that we need to do and to think about when we're connecting and we're coming into the knowledge of ourself, our true higher self, our power, our empowerment. And coming into our empowerment, there's some important things that we need to know when we are letting go and overstanding the world around us, and we're letting go of these lower energies and stop letting them leech off of us and be parasites on us. Instead, we're empowering ourselves, becoming stronger. So in becoming stronger, only due to the knowledge that we're collecting and gaining from within ourselves and being connected with our higher self, because we are our higher selves. So we're coming out of the lower state, and when we come out of the lower state of mind and thinking, we can overstand, not understand, because when we're understanding, we're still under it. We're still allowing it to control us. But we can overstand jealousy, and all these other emotions, lower energy emotions. You can call them lower spirits, lower, weaker spirits. And we can become bigger than them. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So, in looking at ways we can overcome them, and because these things block the magic. When you want to do, when you're doing like voodoo, you're engaging in the spiritual world, you're letting it work for you, you have to be pure. So therefore, becoming pure, how do you become pure? That's a question. That's a great question. You have to be pure in mind in dealing with your magic and your empowerment through your overstanding of the lower energies, emotions that you've endured in the past. Once you have an overstanding of those things and you've conquered them, you faced and you've been true to yourself, and you identified it, and you can pinpoint what the cause of it, and you can now see that it's not significant. It's not a significant emotion. It was just something that you picked up in your experience, and something that we picked up in our experience of being a human. So in picking this up in our experience in being a human, it sometimes can trap us into maintaining that state, because we are surrounded by people who have not awakened to their state. So they repeat the same thing over. They're kind of like stuck in our lower selves. So we deal with trying to help the people around us to understand these that they are bigger than these lower states themselves. But first, we have to look at and see how we overcome them, how we become bigger than these things. Like jealousy. From the spiritual point of jealousy, it been such a lower energy because in the higher realms, there's no need for it. It's only a egoistic. It's only here for the purpose of the ego, basically. Because, like we said, the ego is built off of the physical existence only. It has nothing else, but it's not of anything spiritual. It's just purely the physical body. Is what helps fuel the ego. So to get the excuse me, to get the most out of our physical experience, because we're physical as well as spiritual, and spiritual is more dominant for us. We can't have one without the other at this point of being in the physical body. But we empower ourselves through conquering these lower spirits, which is these emotions. And how do we conquer them? Through knowledge and understanding them as energy. And understanding how we have to utilize these energies. Not as what we've been taught and what we've been programmed and what we've seen, experienced here, but being in the moments of these emotions that we endure is a good thing, because we are studying it. We're trying to figure out the message in it. Because my question is, and my thing, I already know the answer to it. I don't feel like Black people should feel ashamed of anything as Black people. The only shame, the reason why I say that is because we are in an experience. We have no knowledge of ourselves. Not too many of us walk around with knowledge that we are something totally different than what we really think and see ourselves as now. And some might say, should there be shame in just that alone? And I would say, no. There shouldn't be shame in not understanding or knowing self, because there's been situations where you can't know of thyself. But in this society, people, you know what I'm saying? So, in many cases, people have been blindsided to who they are and they've been put in a situation where they're subjugated, abused, um, deceived, inflicted much pain upon, that and it's not by their own hands, you know. I say when anyone seeks out to harm anyone intentionally, to harm a people, that hand behind intentionally trying to harm other people, that's where the shame lies. That's where shame lies. So it's shame should stay in the lower realm. It is nothing that a higher energy being can work with, because that once you reach that higher, when you reach those levels where you're controlling those emotions been thrown at you, and or emotions, or having those emotion states, you used to fall into those emotion states, and they used to drag you or pull you. Those energies, those lower spirits who come around, and you're sucking them up. You're utilizing them to do your biddings. They're no longer feeding off of your energy, because you overstand that level. You overstand those emotions. You overstand the other light being that doesn't know that they're a light being throwing those emotions at you. You can solve their situation without it even touching you, because you're aware of self. So you're at a point where you're overstanding the situation and trying to get to the heart to help the person that lower energy is emanating, shining from, or coming from. So basically, you're going to be able to kick loss of faith, shamefacedness, embarrassment, indignity, embarrassment, discomfiture. Lily walked in front of him, her face scarlet with shame. A person, action, or situation. You see, as an experience on the lower level, we have to overcome these things as people. I'm not going to be on here too long. But overcoming these things, it doesn't mean also when we overcome them and we reach our height and we overcome the lower self and connect with the higher self, we would never put other people in harm's way or put them into these emotion states either. Because it's not you would still, it would bring you down. It'll pull you down into back into your lower energy. And it's not of a high energy state. It's not of someone who overstands um, these lower states of emotions, energy, because they're there to move us up high. Shame, and I could not understand why I had this overwhelming feeling of shame and guilt. So when I walked down the road, I always had my head down and just felt ill inside. Um, Sometimes I didn't even want to walk down the street. But what I started doing is I was like, am I going to be like this forever? And it was like, does other people feel like this? You know? So I would have other people around me, but people can't read your mind. And I always felt like I was weird. So, in that, when I would feel like in that state, but I tried to play it off, those feelings, those emotions. But I always came back to I was facing it. Yes, we have to learn. It's gradually, because I think it was a lot of things in my life, a lot of things that I took on, you know, in my experience as a youth, as a child. So we have to face those things, and I eventually faced it. Try to keep that in mind. My head was hard to get up. But that was, for me, a spiritual experience. Those emotions, those energies, dealing with that, because it got me through a lot being inside. And my mama always tell me, you're too into yourself. You need to come out. But it was hard for me, you know, very, very difficult. I mean, I kind of was like, I don't know, I'm double ways. I can be introverted and, you know, and talk. I can be outgoing with people and open. Now I am very much so. But, people would say I was shy, but I wasn't shy. I don't think I was. I think I was open and very, um, but just had a lot of different emotions going on, dealing with the energies within me. So I think that's what it was. Just, you know, trying to figure out things in this experience. And once we conquered that and conquered many, many other emotions, once we understand the power of them, how powerful they are, and that it's not what we think of them as in the physical only, it has another whole nother face to it. On the spiritual side, we always should look at them and have an overstanding. But if you're someone who does not, most of our people who are not awake, are not aware of themselves as being energy or light beings, anything above just, being more powerful than the flesh that we're in, then we can expect them to fall into the traps all the time. They will fall into the traps of emotions and not empower themselves with the energy emotions. And a lot of our people wonder why, they don't even think what they think. They don't know that what they think is power in itself. So when they say, oh, magic is not real, they are in control of making that magic. But if you're someone who does not, of hearing those voices and answering to the messages that we're receiving, and that's having a career, relationships, and things just keeping us busy, 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 busy. When we're not supposed to be busy, 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 busy like that, where you don't take the time out to meditate and hear your guidance from your higher self. Because you have to listen. We have to listen and be in tune to what's going on with us health-wise and energy-wise, as far as our energy emotions moving us to a different level, moving us up in level. Through you move from it. So that's successfully listening to your higher self within, guiding you away from a situation that will pull you into that energy and allow that energy to suck, that spirit to suck you up into it. Like what happened to me at the young age, dealing with those lower energies. But I faced it. I faced those things. And I moved on. And gained a high understanding of those emotions.